I'm Jessie Schwartzburg. I'm an event producer. The type of clients that I'm working with today are typically they're authors, they're speakers, and they are in the nonfiction world, meaning they are going to teach you how to do something. My clients are all over the board, but the one common thing that they have is they're an author and they're a speaker.
The past 10 years I've been working with Jessie Schwartzburg, and she's been producing my events, but she's also been an integral part in our business in terms of just providing a high quality experience to our clients and customers. We did 3 to 4 live events per year. We've also done fundraising events. And over the past 7 years, we've been evolving this new format, the webcast format, which are live interactive online events. And Jessie has helped create the format and the formula that we're using right now that is extremely successful.
Jessie became a part of the team because we desperately needed some help with project management. We had a lot of details falling through the cracks. Everything was last minute. Everything was a lot bit chaotic. And Jessie came in, and her superhero powers are that she can look at something, she can outline everything that needs to happen, timeline it, and somehow manage all of those details with the team.
So the types of events that I get hired to produce for my clients are anywhere from a small intimate event like a mastermind event or a certification event where maybe we have 15 to 30 customers coming in and they've paid a higher ticket price to be at that event, to events for them that can be 100 to 800 people, or those are multi-speaker events where we have different speakers on stage, we have panelists.
We have a coaching business. Bo's a speaker and I run everything else.
Jessie's the one who keeps us married, basically, because it used to be just us, you know, and now we don't have to do that anymore. Like Jessie's running the show behind the scenes and really taking care of, taking a lot of weight off our shoulders.
I remember when I was like wondering if I needed someone like that, because that was actually what I do best, was run the show. And I said, I don't know, and I kind of have everything in my head and I know exactly what happens when. And she's like, Dawn, if you couldn't be there, I want to be able to run everything from, the very first moment to the end of the day and just have it all laid out. And when she did that, and then she put together her amazing show flows that she's so great at, it's literally like, I don't have to be there. I could actually be home with my kids and know that an event's happening and it's going to be as amazing as I would want it to be.
What's interesting is I'm not an event coordinator, and that's a lot of times what people think, and they have this misconception about what it is I do. They think I plan birthday parties and galas and weddings, and that's not at all what I do. I could call myself an event producer because I'm going to produce something for a client from A to Z if that's what they need. I'm going to help them figure out their marketing and what they're going to sell at an event and how we're going to script the event and when the different effects and what the team is and what the stage is going to look like and how we're going to brand the event, and then everything to the post-event, the whole accounting, and were we profitable? Did we lose money? Which I've never lost money at an event, thank you, knock on wood, but I've never done that because that's so important to me. I lose sleep over events because I am just constantly visualizing what can happen and where I think that there's something's broken in the system, and I want to fix it before we ever do that live event. That's what I would say. I'm a producer. I'm going to produce what they need, the live show, the marketing, the sales, the different funnels, the team that you need involved in it. I grew up watching my mom work very hard, and she had multiple businesses, and that was interesting to me. I mean, I always knew I wanted to have my own company. I always knew I wanted to be able to provide for myself and provide for my kids. I first lived in this little tiny town. It's called Northfield, Minnesota, and it was just very small. My parents were divorced. My dad had moved to Kansas at this point. My mom wanted to get my sister and I into like the best school district in Minnesota. So the best school district was this town called Edina, and Edina is like the wealthiest town in the Minnesota area. We were raised really different than most people in Edina who had everything. We had beautiful cars and homes and multiple homes. We lived in apartments. We moved every couple years. My sister and I always shared a room.
Growing up, she was always really cool. I always was following her around everywhere. We got along really, really well. She was always being creative and setting up different little shops in school, and she did traveling cheerleading, which she was captain of the squad.
graduated high school, went to University of Kansas. I was a broadcast journalism major. I graduated college and I was sending out my reel and trying to figure out, what I'm going to do, become a reporter. And what I realized is I don't really like watching the news myself. It's sad, it's depressing. I just decided I was going to move to like a cool city instead. So I moved to San Diego. I was looking for jobs and this company called the Learning Annex was hiring. And the Learning Annex is the world's largest adult seminar organization company. And they put on events with best-selling authors and celebrities and business gurus. And they were promoted through the cover of a magazine.
It was great. It's where we both got our start. So Jessie started a few years before me, and I think really did a lot with that company, especially in San Diego.
It was really interesting to see the level of putting on an event for 5 people and putting on an event for 80,000 people, and the logistics that go into an event for putting on an event for 5 people and putting on an event for 80,000 people.
She has a wealth of experience, and finding someone who has as much experience producing as many shows as she has is rare. And she worked with some incredibly difficult, challenging people over her years when she was with the Learning Annex. And she got to deal with, in this case, a Donald Trump, Kiyosaki. She had worked with Tony Robbins, a lot of big name, big personalities.
Jessie is unique in that she's got great event experience, but she's also got launch experience and team management experience. So it's just this unique trifecta that makes things just exponentially improve.
I'd done events with Jessie through the company that I was working for, and I loved it. I loved everything about it. So I thought, you know what, let's go, chase this woman down who does these amazing events and find out what she does and how she does it and learn from her. And that's how I met Jessie and started working with her. She is far from one who mans a post. She gets into every nook and cranny of a company, sees how it ticks, sees how it works, and she is in every aspect of a company to build a great event, and that's what I wanted to learn.
I visualize events so much before I'm actually on site for them, and I think about every aspect of what it would be like for an attendee, from the time that they come check into their hotel, they come to check in with us to get their name badge. So I like to really visualize the experience and kind of take people through a story when they're at a live event. The best feeling that I get when I'm producing events is when it all comes together and everything that's been in my mind or been mapped out on paper and put on a show flow for me comes to life, and it comes to life the way I envisioned it. I would say the live events are always much more high energy, right? They're high energy because we create a live show event with lights and sound and music and raffle prizes and the speakers on stage. There's a lot more effects we can do in a live room from a live stage.
She's just so easygoing. She's so relaxed, nothing gets to her. She's everything. She's got it, no problem. We'll take care of it. There's no drama. There's no panic. Where I might be panicking, she isn't. So it's perfect because I don't need to look over at somebody and just have them just losing it, And I think that's what she's so good at.
And the minute that she came on board and started running our events, the feedback we get from our clients is man, you guys run the best events. And Donna and I are thank you. And Jessie's scrambling around backstage.
No matter what kind of event, they're always stressful. At least for me, I feel like my heart's always racing. I would say my clients probably would say I seem cool and calm and collected when I work events, but inside it's just this internal, I'm crazed and I'm stressed out.
Jessie has a high degree of OCD built in. So she's able to see what needs to happen and predict behaviors of team, a market, and follow a theme for a program, and brings to the table a network of people who can get the job done.
I think what's interesting is in the event world, a 15-second where a show goes down or there's a technical issue, in my mind, it literally feels like 15 minutes or 15 years. It feels like forever, but from a client perspective or attendee perspective, it was really only maybe 10 seconds, but it's that feeling of just, oh my gosh, the whole show's gonna crash and crumble. But I'm just so fortunate. I work with such a great team of people and experts that we always just everyone just brings like their area of expertise, and so we're always just able to improvise and figure it out, because every event, like it's always something new. You know, you can never predict what the issue is going to be. As much as you practice and you've had meetings and you've rehearsed things, stuff happens in the event world. So I would just say I'm so fortunate for the team that I bring with me. That's one thing that my clients always say too, is they just know when they hire me, they're hiring an A-team, because I have found the best in the business to come and work with me.
She does not motivate people by fear or by intimidation or by strong-arming them. She motivates people by lifting them up, giving them responsibility and expecting that they're going to do a great job. Events without Jessie can be a lot more chaotic, not quite as polished, not quite as smooth, and with the wrong leader heading the project, they can get negative. Events are so detail, precise oriented that it's very easy to get stressed out and take it out on the people that you work with, and she finds a way of not doing that.
Jessie has been just amazing to work with, but I think one of the best things that I do with Jessie is get out of her way. What I've seen with Jessie is that she's highly capable and really great to work with. And what I hear back from the team is that people absolutely love working with her because she's fun, she's smart, but she also gets things done and she honors her word. So if she says she's going to do something, you don't have to worry anymore.
There's no off the clock with Jessie. And I will get emails flying in from her at 4 o'clock in the morning, even when she has to take her kids to school at 7. That's not the norm, but if something needs to get done, Jessie will make sure it gets done. Her work ethic is probably one of the biggest things that I respect about her.
It was so important to me when I was building my business that I could have the flexibility just to be there for my kids and be there for my family. I wanted to be able to help out at their school. I wanted to be able to be the room mom, which I am, and I have been every year for my kids. I wanted to be able to help with the gala committee at the school and raise money for the school and volunteer. That was so important to me, and I work a lot. I do. I work a lot, and I work a lot after my kids have gone to sleep or when they're at school, but I try to, when they're around, not be working. I don't want them to look back at their time of me being their mom and being like, she just worked all the time and she was never here. I want them to look back and be like, yeah, she worked really hard, but she made, she was there for us. She was at our school. I always remember her being there. I remember she threw great birthday parties, which I love doing, by the way. I love throwing birthday parties for my kids, but I want them just to say like she was there and she did it all. She worked and she was a great mom, and she had a great relationship with dad. And so I work when they're not around. At least I try to. I try to do that.
They are in every single sport and activity, and dropping them off in play groups and to and from school, and going to the beach and going surfing, and Aussies and hip hop and solis and tap and ballet, and I don't know how she does it. She works like 60 to 80 hours a week and is 150% with her family as well. She is awesome. She manages to get everything done and then some, and she does it better than anyone I know.
Jessie is one of those people that you don't know how she does what she does. Like you look for a weak spot somewhere something's got to crumble with the level of dedication she gives to every area of her life, and I haven't found it. And I do know her outside of events, and I have spent time with her and her children, and she manages to be a great mom. She manages to make them feel like they're the most important things in her life. She's fun to see around her kids. It's fun to see her not the director. It's fun to see her play, and she shows them a lot of love.
And she's very smart and just very present and connected to people. You can tell she likes people, and she likes family. She has 2 little kids and a great husband, and so do we. And that's the kind of the sensibility where it all comes together.
We just get along. She'd be somebody that you'd want to have over to your house for a barbecue and, be friends with her family.
She's an awesome sister. She's a great boss. She's a great friend. And she's a great mother. She's awesome. She really is.
If you're lucky enough to be in Jessie's orbit and able to work with her, and she deems you and your business worthy, I'd consider yourself very fortunate. I know I do.
She has the ability and already has and will continue to make a massive impact in the world.
Just working with the people that I like working with. I want to work with the people I like working with and the ones that don't totally stress me out. I want to work with the people that I see doing really good, cool, innovative things and not just copying what other people are doing. I like to work with people that are just fun to be around. That's what I want. I want to just work with people that I like being around, that I leave an event or I leave working with them where I just feel, you just feel great. You know, I just like being around them and I like what we're doing. So that's what I think I always am going to be in the event world. I will probably be 110 years old at the senior center planning events, figuring out which musicians are coming in to entertain us, figuring out the buses that are going to take us on the field trip. That will be me, I'm sure, you know, in the senior center still planning events because it's just in me. It always has been since I've been a little girl.